All right, so we just got some news from James Gunn and an update about Superman. That being Superman Man of Tomorrow premieres July 2027. Wow, that was fast, right? The DCU didn't plan, the DCU storyline didn't plan on that, right? I've said this before and I said this before in the Clayface video about a few days ago where I talked about how I kind of am worried that like James Gunn's movie universe plan is kind of flying by the seat of its pants. Now, so far it has been good. Don't get me wrong; it has actually been incredibly solid. Um, it's been incredibly solid as a so far. But the continuity, like the movie schedule, has just been all over the place. So far, the ones that are definite right now, not a series not excluded, are I guess Superman 2, Supergirl, and Clayface. We don't have it, like, for all we know, the rest of them, I'm not even going to think about the other films like Dynamic Duo or The Authority if that ever comes out. And the Amanda Waller TV show that we got promised, yeah. But I'm not going to talk about that. I still like this more than the Snyder films. Yeah, the Snyderverse, let it go, guys. Snyderverse is dead. Just accept it, guys. It'll be, just, yeah. Snyderverse is gone. So yeah. So James Gunn posted a picture of Superman standing next to Lex Luthor in his power armor. So let's kind of analyze that for a bit. For one thing, it really does feel like maybe Lex and Superman are going to be a buddy cop kind of thing in this story where they're going to be forced to work together. And James Gunn did talk about, like, he did enjoy the comic Superman Last Days of Lex Luthor, which is a big thing about Superman and Lex teaming up against a certain villain. That villain was Brainiac. And it would make sense, like Brainiac makes a lot of sense for a villain, for the perfect villain for Superman and Brainiac to like work together against. And also, it's just high time to have Brainiac. Like, it is beyond the point of having Brainiac in this film. If it is Brainiac. Again, it could be, I don't think they'll use Darkseid. I really don't think they're not going to tease the Darkseid or anything like that for a while. They're not going to do that in the least. What I do think, however, is that I think they're probably going to use, like, Brainiac is the big threat and the Superman villain that we've all wanted, and it has ties to both Clark and Lex. So, where was I going with? Yeah. So to have those two seemingly work together, and Lex is in the power armor, which is something I was kind of expecting in this movie, honestly. Like, I was actually shocked we didn't get Lex in the power armor, but we do see, like, the LexCorp power, like, a version of it. So I imagine that, like, Luthor at some point in this movie is going to get into the big LexCorp armor, and him and Superman are going to fight, or he's going to fight fight Brainiac drones with it. So yeah, again, I can't say that's what it's going to be. What this movie is going to be about is that, oh, it's going to be Superman and Lex teaming up. It's just, it looks like that. Like James Gunn would not have used that image specifically unless he was like thinking, yeah, that's like, there's like, he wouldn't use that image unless he wasn't. Like, he could have used an image of like Lex in the power, because there's so many other images of like Lex in the power armor and he's fighting Superman. But here they are, like, leaned up against each other, like all buddy or trying to be. And yeah, out of all of them, he chose that one. So it just kind of makes the mind race, right? Like, it really does make you think, what are you up to, James? But I will say this, that it is kind of shocking to see that, you know, this movie is being fast-tracked, well, so fast, because, yeah, Superman was a great movie. Superman was by far an awesome film. And to see, I was expecting, though, that they would hold off on that project for a little while longer. Like, I would legit think that they would have held off on doing something with that project, or like with that film series, at least until like 2028. But to do it in 2027, now again, the film could get postponed, like everything else in James Gunn's universe. But and yeah, don't get me wrong, I have my I have my worries and concerns about the James Gunn movies, but like for the most part, it's better. It's being better handled and treated with more care than the previous continuity. So yeah, that's my only gripe is James, bring it in, bring it in. We gotta have like a discussion on, because even while you could say the early Marvel days and even Marvel now, like the MCU now has problems like what movies are going to stay and what's going to go. At least they're more concise. Like there is a general board that feels like, yeah, we can do this, we can do that, but we can't do this and we can't do that for at least right now. Maybe we can do that in another capacity. That's what I feel like needs to happen over there at DC. Like I feel like someone else needs to like talk to James Gunn and Peter Stefan and just be like, guys, we got to have like we got to like streamline this because we had that big video announcement and where's Swamp Thing? Where's the Authority? Where's this? Where's that? Now, to be fair, like to be absolutely fair, there is a chance that like maybe David Zaslav is like sticking his tiny minuscule dick into the production, and maybe he told James Gunn, Superman made us a shit ton of money, make another Superman movie. So maybe that's why we got it. Who knows? I'm not there in the on the island. I mean, in the production rooms. So I couldn't tell you. Anyway, so what else could we get with this film? I feel like another thing that needs to happen with this film is that while it was cool to see the Justice Gang in here, I feel like they don't need to be here for this film. They can show up and maybe again, I'm under the assumption that it is Brainiac. I'm going by that assumption that it is Brainiac, but as it stands, I'm not I can't say for certain it is. I just don't want it to be Zod again. I really do not want it to be Zod. Like, because we have Lex and Zod and that's it. Brainiac has to be the next one. If not Brainiac, Mongul would be good. Like, to have Mongul here would be awesome. So it just cannot be Zod again. Not to say I don't want Zod in this universe. I just don't want him next. We did it already, so we've done him enough. So how about we just do Brainiac finally? Like, just have Brainiac in this continuity. But anyway, I feel like this needs to be a Superman movie first and foremost. It was cool to see the Justice Gang. It was cool to have them here in this universe. But I feel like you can have them here, but have, like, again, going by the hypothetical that it is Brainiac. Brainiac can beat them and take them away, and then it's just solely Superman's movie with him forced to turn to Lex for help because Mr. Terrific's not there. And you could even have it that he shrank down Metropolis and took it, and now Clark has to literally go to Bel Rev. You could even have like a Amanda Waller cameo in here and have him be like, Lex, I need your help. Like they took our city, and that's how he gets it. And then he could even say like Lex could even be like, have the biggest boner ever and be like, you had to come to me for help. How awesome is that? I am going to make you eat shit for the rest of your life now. So, yeah, I'm excited, but it does put into question, again, it really goes back to that questioning of, Gunn, how planned is this universe, right? Like, how much planning has gone into this universe? But anyway, that's a question for another time. But until then, you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of the announcement of of Superman 2, which is going to be Man of Tomorrow? Yeah, are you guys excited or is not? Do you guys think it'll be a Lex and Clark team-up movie? And who do you think the villain would be? Do you hope it's Brainiac or are you hoping for someone else? Just comment below, let me know. Yeah. And also, I know some people are going to, looking at you, Caroline, who has to harp on this every goddamn time. I know people are going to be like, oh, what about James Gunn's whole thing with canon? Just let's not. We've already talked about it enough. Anyway, so yeah, just comment below, let me know. Other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in Multiverse.